Goeiedag, hoe gaat het met jullie? Mijn naam is Mark en ik ben de vader van Lauren en Megan. Ik woon in Engeland, het mooiste land ter wereld, denk ik. Van nu af aan, ik ga spreken in het Engels en Megan kan vertalen naar het Nederlands voor mij. So, are you ready, Megan? So I'm going to tell you all about something very special that English people do at Christmas time. And that special thing is, we have these. These are called Christmas crackers. Now, I'm leaving little spaces so that Megan has time to translate what I'm saying into Dutch. So if I seem like I'm going a bit slow, it's so that she has time to do what she's got to do, okay? Now, this is a very interesting story about Christmas crackers and how they were invented. And you know what? They've been around for a very, very long time. In fact, they've been around for 165 years. Now, if you're good at maths, you should be able to guess what year they were invented in. So can you guess? That's right, 1847. Well done. Now, in 1847, a man called Tom Smith invented the Christmas cracker. But the story really starts a few years before that when he went on holiday to Paris in France with his family. Now, Tom Smith was a sweet maker. So when he went to Paris, he was very interested in what the sweet makers in Paris were doing. And they were selling something called bonbons. And bonbons were basically a twist of very nice paper, twisted at both ends like this to make it look nice. And you would buy these from the sweet makers in Paris. And when you opened the twist of paper, inside would be some sweets like these. Now, these are actually cough sweets from my bag. So in Paris, they would have sold nicer sweets than this. So Tom Smith was very impressed with these bonbons and he thought to himself, I'm going to do the same thing in London because nobody in London is doing this. And that's what he did. He started making bonbons just like the ones in Paris and everybody loved them and he sold lots and lots of them. But then other people started making bonbons just like the ones that Tom Smith was doing and he wasn't very pleased about that. So he thought to himself, what can I do that will make my bonbons better than anybody else's? And he had an idea. He started writing little messages on pieces of paper, which he then rolled up and he put them inside the bonbons. And this is if you were buying them for your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your husband or your wife. And the message would say something like, Ik hou van jou. Or, all English men are very handsome. And that's obviously true. So people liked this and they started buying lots more of his bonbons. And guess what happened? You're right, everybody else started doing that in their bonbons, so then he had to think of another idea. So he started putting little presents inside his bonbon wraps. Now this is a little present that came out of a Christmas cracker I had. It's a little puzzle, just a little game. So they weren't very expensive, the presents that were put inside, but people liked it and they started to buy lots more from Tom Smith in his sweet shop. And I think you can already guess what happened. That's right, everybody else started putting little presents in their Christmas crackers or in their bonbons. So Tom Smith was really thinking hard, what can I do that nobody else has got? And one day he was sitting in his house and he was listening to the noise that the fire was making and the clicking and the popping of the logs in the fire. And he thought, that's a very nice sound. So he thought to himself, how could I get that sound somehow inside my bonbons? And he tried all kinds of ideas. And actually, he got into quite a lot of trouble. See, one of his times he was trying to make this, he used some gunpowder and by mistake he set fire to the table he was working on. And his wife was very cross with him and she said, don't you do that ever again, now get out of the house. So then he had to go to his own sweet shop and work there where his wife couldn't shout at him. And finally, he came up with a really good idea. He took two very thin strips of cardboard, very thin pieces, and in the middle, he put a little bit of gunpowder and something called saltpeter. Now, I don't know how you're going to translate that, Megan, but that's the name of it in English. And saltpeter goes bang if you hit it. So what he did is he put a piece of paper round the join to hold the pieces of cardboard together. So, and then the idea was to pull the two pieces of cardboard apart like this and listen to the noise that I'm going to make. Do you hear that? That was supposed to sound a little bit like the logs on the fire at home. So now he had sweets, a piece of paper to wrap them up in, a little poem or something like that, and a little gift. So he had to make the wrapper bigger. And finally, he ended up with something like this. It's a bit bigger than the wrapping round the sweet paper that he had at the beginning, but this is the Christmas cracker that we've had ever since then. and nobody else could think of anything better than this. So ever since 1847, that's 165 years ago, people in England have been using Christmas crackers just like this one at Christmas time. So when we sit down to our special Christmas meal, everybody's got one of these next to their plate. And at the end of the meat in the meal, everybody holds their Christmas cracker in one hand like this, and then they pass it across the table to the person opposite them. And the person opposite them, they take hold of the Christmas cracker. And when everybody's ready, they go 3, 2, 1. Pull. And one person gets this, like I did. And one person gets this, which has got all the good bits in it. So, inside a Christmas cracker now, the first thing that we should find is a little present. Now look at that, I've got some Skittles and a little ball, so I've got a game. So that's my first thing that I've got. And then, usually inside, there will be a really silly joke. So let's see what this one is. What is green and goes downhill in the mountains very fast? A skiwee. Ooh, that's a bad joke, isn't it? Ugh. They're always bad. The jokes in the Christmas crackers, they're terrible. And then, here's what we're going to have that we have to put on our head. Now this one's green. I don't really think that's a good colour for me as a hat, so here's one from another cracker, a red one. That's going to work better. So we have to wear our Christmas hat like this, and then for the rest of the meal we have to keep these on until everybody's finished eating, and that's to make sure that everybody enjoys themselves. So that's what Christmas crackers are. They started off a long time ago as just sweets in a piece of paper, and now they've become something very special that every English person has to do at least once every Christmas. And because people from England ended up living in New Zealand and Australia and South Africa, people there do Christmas crackers as well. So next time you're looking in a shop or watching a film and you see somebody with a Christmas cracker, hopefully you know how it all happened. So thanks for listening, and thank you, Megan, for doing a good job translating me. So have a great Christmas. Bye.